Happy Sunday, everyone. I am in the graveyard again, but this time next to a hedge. A very lush hedge. In Norwegian, they would use the word fruity. Uh, yeah, that's the rest of the graveyard. Pretty peaceful. Yeah, so today I wanted to talk about The Matrix. So in The Matrix is just the world we live in, except for the fact that it's a computer simulation. And when you start to push against the boundaries and do things you're not supposed to in the simulation, you will get exterminated. The police come after you, but you have these super police, let's say, called agents, dressed in suits, who are extremely strong and fast and can hunt you down. The thing about the agents is that anyone can be an agent. So you're walking on the street and suddenly an old woman pulling her little dog can be transformed into like a suit wearing man, and they can hunt you down. So the idea is that anyone anywhere can be an agent. And you can and the thing about the metaphor for the agent is that they are, let's say, the system. They are the system kind of policing itself, kind of like white blood cells that just zip around and kill bacteria. It's a system reacting and maintaining equilibrium. We don't need to be in the Matrix to understand that we live in a system as well. We live in a system of norms, cultural norms, and these norms guide us in how we act. So I guess one really common norm until recently, at least in the West, was eating meat. It was just normal to eat meat, and you can see this norm enforcing occur kind of somewhat violently in the older generation. When if someone says they're vegetarian, you suddenly have these people going, so you just eat leaves? This doesn't happen as much these days any longer, but maybe 10 years ago that was a real thing. People would harass vegetarians for no particular reason, and it's kind of like agents in the system. Suddenly you're talking to your dad or your mom, and they transform into a physical manifestation of the system, and begin to kind of enforce norms. So you can call them norm enforcers, and norm enforcers can come just from anywhere. So I just find that kind of interesting. I guess the question also, I mean, with vegetarians, there's no threat really to other people. They're just not eating meat. But the question is, why do people react so aggressively to it? And it's not just vegetarians. It's homosexuality. It's even choosing not to have kids. Some people act really, really strongly to react really, really strongly to people who say, oh, I don't want to have kids, and they start getting abused for some reason. That kind of norm enforcement is a lot more common than I think we realize. You just have to hold a deviant view, that's all, and express it. And suddenly all this norm enforcement starts to come from all kinds of angles. Then it begs the question, why do people norm enforce? And one reason could be that they have accepted the norms, maybe without much thought, and the fact that someone begins to question that or to live slightly differently kicks into gear a reflection about those norms that they have subscribed to. In that moment, they have two options. They can either be defensive and go all Agent Smith on the deviants and try to quash any deviancy, or they can listen and try to find out why people have decided not to follow the normal life script. Obviously, the latter takes a lot more work and calm, but I think that can happen. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about today. Those who are deviant, even in any way, will probably have come across this norm enforcement. But I just wanted to put some words to it. Okay, have a good rest of the evening and have a good week. Peace.